Hey everybody, this is B, and so I'm coming with an update in regards to a Facebook post that I placed on FB earlier today in regards to a little issue that my husband and I ran into this morning with our son's school. My son did not have a good morning this morning, and so my husband, since he was off today, decided that he was going to surprise him by going to the school and having some lunch with him, you know, spending some prize time with him. When I called the school, he goes to a middle school. When I called the school to find out what exactly was his lunch time, I was told by the school secretary that not only was parents having lunch with the children not allowed, but we could not have a classroom sit-in without prior approval from the teachers. She was telling me that they do this, you know, because they don't want to interrupt testing and they don't want to interrupt any special projects, which we understand, but my son did not have tests or anything today. And so we explained to her that we wanted to do a courtesy check to make sure he was okay. We were told that parents are not allowed to go back in the classrooms or in the lunchroom, that if we want to see our children, we were only allowed to see our children in the front office, which put a really bad taste in our mouth because I'm like, this, what is it back there that you don't want me to see? So of course I put in a phone call to the Board of Education, and I left a message for the principal. I just got a phone call back from the principal, who surprisingly enough told me that we are actually encouraged to come and have lunch with the students and to have classroom sit-ins. So the information that we were given from one end was actually wrong. He did say that because of spacing in the classroom, in the lunchroom, that parents are actually allowed to check their child out to take them to lunch and then bring them back to the school, which we were not told. And he was saying that all she had to do was just call down there to make sure that the class was not having a test and that my husband could have went down there. Or if you know that you're going to be off on a particular day, of course you can email in, which we knew about this, to have a classroom sit-in, which was totally different from what we were told earlier. And he was very complimentary of our son, and he was saying that he was a good kid, and you know, that if there were any issues to please let him know. I explained to him some of the struggles that TJ has been dealing with without going into much detail, but he was very supportive, and he did clarify some things, and he did go back and straighten up some things, which was totally different from what we were told earlier today. We got it all together. Thank God for resolution. Thank God, because I was prepared to just check my children out all together. I have been entertaining the idea of homeschooling. I got to pray on that a little bit more, but thank God for a principal who was very understanding, who took out the time to call, because not all do call back, and so I want to thank God for that. But I do want to say this, and I would be remiss if I did not say this. I appreciate everybody's comments that you've made on the Facebook post. I respect everybody's views, but I've got to say this. I understand that in today's time and age, schools are having to implement and enforce rules for our children's safety because of all of the horrific things that's happened within our school system over the past few years, decade, everything that's going on with the school shootings, and it's been horrible. But at the same time, as parents, we should not be quick to give up our right to know what's going on with our children at all times. When you look at it on the flip side, the school shootings that have been happening and all of the incidents within the school system has actually happened on the other side of those four walls. It has unfortunately been the students that's been coming in and shooting up the schools. It's unfortunately not all. I'm not bashing teachers, because there are some great teachers out there, but the incidents with students and teachers having sex and there being abuse has also happened on that other side of the four walls. So while the schools are also trying to protect the bad from getting into the school, as a parent, I want to make sure that my child is protected from the bad that may be already lying dormant in the school. And if I notice a change in the way that my child acts, if I notice that there's something that's not quite right, and I want to make sure that there are some things that's going on there, you know, that we need to address, then do not deny me the right. Do not deny my husband. Do not deny any parent the right to go in and make sure that everything is okay. I'm a little bit on the fence about letting teachers know ahead of time when a parent is coming, because if the teacher is a problem, I'm not saying that that was the case for us, but if the teacher is a problem, why in the world would I want to let you know that I'm coming to check up on you? Because in my eyes, I'm giving you the opportunity to clean up your act before I get there. So I'm on the fence about that. I understand that you don't want to disrupt classroom settings, but then on the other end, if there's a parent that wants to see if there is a problem with the teacher or other students, sometimes surprise visits are made. So I'm on the fence when it comes to that one. On the flip end, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I do want to say that it is not uncool for parents to remain active in their child's life and make school visits and spend time with their child after they reached a certain age. I understand that TJ is in the middle school, but I want to thank God because he and his dad have an awesome relationship. You know, most kids are looking up to all of these, you know, celebrities and all of these athletes and everything, but I thank God because my husband is LeBron James to my son. He is Michael Jordan to my son. He is the biggest celebrity to my son. He's my son's primary influence, and that's the way we want to keep it. It's not uncool for him to want to go and have lunch and spend time with our son. That's not the issue. What is uncool is when you get to a point in a relationship where you and your child quit talking. And I know that children grow up and that they're not always going to want the parents to be around, and we've got to give them their space. I understand that. But especially with African American fathers and the bad rap that they're given a lot of times, I think it's awesome that I've got a husband, that any person who has a dad or a mom that's still active and want to be a part of their child's life and spend time with them, I think we should give kudos to them and not deem it, you know, as, you know, well, that's uncool. Because when you look at the age range, is usually when they get in their age range that you see that the trouble starts up, and that's when we need to be even more active in the life. I also want to encourage parents not to give up your rights as parents. You have the right to know what's going on with your children at all times. Just because you send your child off to school does not mean that your parenting ends the moment they get on the bus or they enter that classroom. Whatever is going on the bus, on those field trips, in the classrooms, in the lab, or wherever it is that they're going to be, you have every right to know what's going on. And if that parental instinct kicks in and you feel like something is not going quite right, then check into it. Follow that gut instinct. That's the Holy Spirit letting you know, baby, you need to check in on that. So I respect everybody's views, but at the same time, with this, everything that's going on in this day and age, Travis and I are not willing to take that risk, and we're not willing to just hand over our authority to the school system, to the government, to anybody. I understand that the school has rules that we must respect, but then at the same time, the school also has to respect the fact that my husband and I, we came together, we made those beautiful babies. I lost my little figure, you know, for those babies. So I'm gonna always be involved. You're never gonna be able to tell me, well, you can't come in and check. That's not going to happen, because these are my kids first. I'm their mama first. He's their dad first, and we have every right to know what's going on. But like I said, at the end of the day, we were able to come to a resolve with the principal. We were able to come with an understanding. My husband is going to be able to spend that time with him at the school whenever he is able to get off and go spend it with him. And parents, I want you to understand that you do have that right. So if you've been told no, don't be afraid to cause a commotion. Of course, do it the right way. Make some phone calls, write letters, leave messages. Let them know that you are serious about this and this is your child and that you care. And while they're trying to protect on their end, you've got to protect on your end. So at the end of the day, everything is taken care of. All is well. I appreciate everybody for your comments, your thoughts, and your views. Hopefully it won't be any more issues, but if it is, you all know I'll be on it. But hopefully y'all won't hear anything else. Anyway, this is B. These are my views, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.